This is Engadget. Here's what's happening in the world of technology. Today is June 15th. The New York Times reports Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court has rejected a proposed ballot measure that would have enshrined Uber and Lyft's business model in law. The court said the measure violated the Massachusetts Constitution by including two unrelated policy decisions, including one hidden by obscure language. The bulk of the proposed ballot measure outlined limited benefits for rideshare drivers. However, the offending provision would have said that drivers couldn't be treated as an employee or agent of gig-based companies. If voted into law, this might have shielded outfits like Uber or Lyft from liability in the event of a crash or crime, not to mention kneecapping any attempts to reclassify drivers as employees in the state. The unrelated provisions raised concerns that voters might be confused, misled, and deprived of a real choice, the court wrote in its decision. Uber, Lyft, and their supporters contended that formalizing the gig worker model would have protected flexibility for drivers seeking their own hours. Groups supporting the companies, such as Chamber of Progress, have claimed employee status could cost jobs and income. Critics like AFL-CIO Union Federation, however, have argued that measures like this create a false dichotomy between flexibility and benefits. They see ballot options like this as attempts to cut employment costs at the expense of laborers. Uber and Lyft declined to comment. The two spent a total of $17.8 million endorsing the ballot measure and have had mixed success promoting similar efforts in other states. They got Californians to vote for Proposition 22, a bid to reverse a state law protecting drivers as employees, only to watch as a judge ruled the measure unconstitutional. The company struck an agreement with Washington state legislators in early 2022, but failed to get much traction in New York State. And Adobe plans to debut a pared-down, web-only version of its popular photo editing tool, Photoshop, The Verge reported today. The company is currently testing this new freemium version with users in Canada, but will eventually make it available to a wider audience. For now, anyone in Canada who creates an Adobe account can access the free, browser-only version of Photoshop. Engadget has reached out to Adobe to find out when it plans to make the tool available to users worldwide, and will update when we hear back. Photoshop has long been the industry standard for image editing, but its monthly license fee likely dissuades most from using it. Meanwhile, free or freemium photo editing software like Pixlr, Canva, and Photopea have embraced casual users and also grown more sophisticated in their offerings. As The Verge notes, Adobe is making its basic photo editing tools available for free in order to reach users that don't belong to its usual audience. Adobe's hope is that some freemium Photoshop users will become paying subscribers, especially since the company plans to offer more advanced features on the web-only version that can only be unlocked with a subscription. If this sounds somewhat familiar, it's because Adobe launched its web-only version of Photoshop and Illustrator for subscribers last fall, though their functionality was limited to basic editing and sharing comments among collaborators on projects. This new free web version of Photoshop significantly expands the available tools and allows users to start new projects as well as access more advanced color correction and editing tools. If you want to catch the latest tech news as it's happening, check out Engadget.com or tune in again every weekday.
Spoken Layer.